new guy, Hoyt. He's in second. Drops Roger with some fine shotgun work. Who shot Roger?
New guy came in spraying.
Paul.
Boot shot him.
What'd you guys see?
Hoyt, I didn't shoot me before the cops said you did. But I didn't. You did.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
TV. I'm actually about to do a very deep breakdown on The Lion King, and I'm going to delve deep into what this plot was truly about. Because all of the years we grew up watching this, we saw Simba and Mufasa as the good guys and Scar as the bad guy. But I'm going to delve deep into what all of this truly was about. I'm going to play some clips and I'm going to chime on in, but I'm really going to just kind of fast forward through some of the clips just so it won't get flagged and do the copyright. So I'm going to play some clips and chime on in.
Look, Simba, everything the light touches is our kingdom.
Everything the light touches is our kingdom. And now, as we know that Satan himself disguises as an angel of light. You feel where I'm about to go with this? He disguises as an angel of light, and as it's written in 2 Corinthians 4:4, that he is the God of this world, and he has exalted himself to be as the Most High.
A king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
Let's delve deep into this, y'all. Let's delve real deep into this. The sun will rise and set, but it will rise with you as the new king. Pay attention to who Mufasa. I'm going to take it real deep on y'all, what Mufasa really playing a role as and what Simba is really playing a role as. And I'm going to come back to this whole logo in a little bit, but pay attention to that because I'm going to tap real deep into this, y'all.
Shadowy place.
That's beyond our borders.
What about that shadowy place?
That's beyond our borders.
And you remember on the movie, I'm actually going to delve into this in a minute, but you remember on the movie, he couldn't go to the elephant graveyard because what I'm going to delve into what all of this represents, but what that elephant graveyard represents is basically the aspect of their defeat. Because if you're familiar with the Babel Tower and the flood, that represents their aspect of them being brought down. The elephant represents great pride. And you know how an elephant can slay a lion easily, actually. But it's the mentality of the lion that makes him the king of the jungle. But an elephant can kill a lion with ease. So what I'm going to do is delve deep into this because that represents them literally losing their great pride. That's why it was called the shadow place. That's why he said everywhere in this kingdom that has light on it. You remember how the enemy took the Messiah to see the great city that he was prophesying that he was going to truly build up. All of this literally represents all of this right here. That's why they say they don't want to deal with the shadow because they don't want to basically stay on that level of lingering on. They want to just keep progressing forward. They come back stronger. I'm going to delve into what all of that is talking about a little later on. But let me keep this thing rolling.
Understand that balance and respect all the creatures. Everything you see exists together in a delicate balance.
Hear about this is all talking about one world order, y'all. Pay attention to this. About the circle of life. Basically saying the Messiah is taken out of their foundation so that everything can flourish. Just pay attention to what he say.
Ant to the leaping antelope.
But Dad, don't we eat the antelope?
Yes, Simba, but let me explain. When we die, our bodies become the grass, and the antelope eat the grass.
You see? And I'm going to delve into what that antelope talking about because when you understand the antelope is nothing but the deer. And I'm going to show you something right quick. Get Out, remember he was dealing with the deer and his mama represented the deer. Remember when she got killed? And his name is Chris. The main character right here, his name is Chris, which is short for AKA Christ. But notice how he has the deer because all that represents, that's all the antelope is. That's why he said when we die, do not, he said, don't we eat the antelope? He said, yes, but when we die, we become the grass and the antelope eats the grass. What they're talking about is how they eat the people of the Most High. They devour and conquered the people of the Most High. And when they die, practically what they're basically saying is that they eat of us and they keep our kingdom going. That's all he's saying. They keep the kingdom flowing in a circle of life without Scar being in it, because Scar literally represented nothing but the Messiah. But I'm gonna delve deep into this because I'm gonna tap into it right quick. Because all the deer is anyway, it's a name. The name Rally, the name deer derives from the name Rally, which basically just mean nothing but the deer's meadow, like the Holy Land. That's all it really means. I had mentioned that on my movie that I was talking about, the Would You Rather. I broke that down. But pay attention to this. And I want to delve deep into this because in 1994, the guy who played Scar, his name was Jeremy Owens, Jeremy Irons, I'm sorry, which is very deep because Jeremy literally don't mean nothing but but it comes from God will uplift. It comes from the name Jeremiah, which means God will uplift. And then the name Iron, when you think about that anyway, that just means nothing but like the royal rod of the Messiah. You see what I mean? And then the guy who played him on the new one in 2019, the newest one that Disney did, his name is Chiwetel Ejiofor. Chiwetel literally don't mean nothing but God brought forth. And then the name Ejiofor literally means nothing but the bull. And you already know how I've been talking about that, like the bull is duality, because the bull literally represents the aspect of El, aka Elohim. You know what I'm saying? So it's deep stuff. It's all duality. That's why when Simba died, which I'm about to show you right quick, when Simba had died, remember he had fell into the buffalo stampede and he got casted into the pit. It's some deep stuff because when he get cast into the pit, he got stampeded on by the bull, which representing the judgment of the Most High. That's all it represented.
Awful! What do we do? What do we do? I'll go back to help. That's what I'll do. I'll go back to...
Notice how Scar knocked the bird out, because all this is representing right here, as it's written, the Messiah is all-knowing, all-seeing. Like the aspect of like the eagle mounted up like an eagle. You get what I mean? Like it's deep stuff, because when you pay attention to that with the bird, which is crazy, because all this literally represents is the two aspects. You have the Messiah who came to show how to live without, and conquer sin in the flesh. And then Scar represents the Messiah coming to destroy this earthly kingdom. That's why he knocked out the bird, because that was his past form. He do not come to bring peace no more. He's coming to bring division and sword of judgment. Like it's some deep stuff, y'all. And I want y'all to pay attention. I'm gonna play the scene right quick.
Help! Long live the king.
Notice he fell into the pit of the bulls, of the buffalo. And what's so deep about that is because notice he said, long live the king. That basically represents nothing but the kingdom being destroyed. You see what I'm going with this? And that's why Simba had to be groomed. I'm going to get into this right quick. But you remember the movie Black Panther, Killmonger, it was really the same role as Scar. He threw T'Challa off the throne. T'Challa, he threw him off the cliff, aka the pit. He knocked him off the top of the mountain. Remember, as it's written in Isaiah 14, as it's written that Satan exalt himself high above to be as the Most High, and he should be brought down into the sides of the pit. It's deep stuff, y'all. And I'm gonna keep this thing rolling, because notice how the monkey was a big role. You remember he was the one to exalt up Simba, to let them know that he'll be king in the future. And what the monkey, if you understand the monkey, all a monkey represents is like the great deceivers, the thief. That's like really the monkey is known as that, which is very deep, because when you understand that, it represents the greed, it represents the thief. And like they always, even the Chinese look at the monkey as like the devil, as like the thief. But when you get deep into this, which is deep, because when you understand the boule and what that symbolism really represented, with him exalting up the up Simba. All that represented is basically the Boule Society, the black fraternity, exalting Obama up to rule. You get where I'm about to take this right quick. That's all it represents, is like the Boule Society exalting Obama to become king. And remember when I was talking about the elephant, the graveyard on the Lion King? Remember when I was mentioning that, which is so deep because all that represents, the elephant graveyard, like I said, it represents them being at like great pride and great power and them being brought down. And it's literally showing that that's their way. They built themselves back up from that. Because you remember during the time of Abraham Lincoln, his campaign utilized the elephant to basically show, oh, you know, we got great power. You know, we defeated the South. The elephant was used to show their power, like of defeating the South. You remember the Union overcoming the South. That's why they had the elephant waving the flag of victory, which is so deep about that, y'all, because what I noticed too, when you understand this whole aspect, and I'm about to take it real deep on y'all, remember Abraham Lincoln had got shot in the back of the head. Remember that. And pay attention to Obama's head. Look at the scar. And like I was talking about, when I was talking about them, like basically like that represented them, Revelation 13:3, and I saw one of the heads as it was wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. Pay attention to this. Because when you understand Abraham Lincoln, all Abraham Lincoln really represent, you know, his name is Abraham to begin with. And I'm going to show that right quick, because the name Abraham literally means the father of many nations. Remember in the scripture, Abraham became the father of the Hebrews. You feel where I'm going? And he became the father of many nations. He had the Arabs, etc. You know, so I'm just going to keep it rolling. But when you pay attention to that, all that represents is that. Because Abraham literally represents nothing but like the one who brings forth bring forth the lineages, who brings forth what? The Messiah, aka Antichrist. False Messiah. That's what that whole lineage represented. This what this movie was showing you. With Mufasa and with Simba. That's why you see the monkey was the one to exalt him, because that was the one to show, okay, look, he's going to be our new king.
Me. Look inside yourself, Simba. You are more than what you have become.
You hear how he told him that you are more than what you have become. Remember, he told him don't go to the elephant graveyard, because they didn't want to look at their defeat. That's why I'm gonna get to it in a second. But they didn't want to look at their defeat. What they wanted to look at, they wanted to keep building and stay on the pride lands. As it's written, before a fall comes pride. That's why the whole aspect was Scar taking over the Pride Rock. You feel where I'm going? Right here.
I'm gonna be king of Pride Rock.
I'm going to be king of the Pride Rock. And you already know pride that's what Satan represents. Full of pride, arrogance, and they exalt himself to be as the Most High.
Monkey's uncle.
What'll that make you? When I'm king, what'll that make you?
A monkey's uncle.
He said, what does that make you? A monkey's uncle. Remember, I was talking about that, because basically, if this kingdom continues to go on, all it represents is nothing but the Boule Society. Remember, I was talking about that. The whole aspect of the Boule Society. That's why he said, I'll be a monkey's uncle. That's all he's basically saying, is that the Boule will continue to rule. That's why he had to literally seduce Simba into going into the elephant graveyard, so that he can remember his destruction, that they came from nothing, that they can be destroyed. They want to have their rulership generation to generation. This is the thing that got me too. Notice how Scar was played by two different characters. Remember I said in 94 he was played by Jeremy Irons, and in 2019 he was played by Chiwetel Ejiofor. Remember when I was just saying that? And what is so deep about that, which is him right here for those who don't know, pull it up right quick. On the reboot, he was playing by Chiwetel Ejiofor. Notice too how he went from to white to black, you know, just to keep that rolling, which is a very deep thing. But when you pay attention to this, they're showing you what's really going on, you know, like the true kings of the earth coming forth. But I'm gonna delve deep into this because notice James Earl Ray played Mufasa on the old one in 1994 and on the one in 2019, because that represented the kingdom is still being ruled. You see where I'm going? How, like I said, it went from the white to the black, two different and not even just that, but like two different people playing the role of Scar, because it represents the aspect of the crucifixion first, and then the coming of destruction of the kingdom of the Pride Lands. This stuff is deep, y'all, and it really make you like excited. But when you look at Scar, you know the Scar literally is so deep because Scar literally represents nothing but the crucifixion. Remember how the Messiah already said that those who pierced him would see him again. Those who scarred him would see him again. But as it's written in the land of Golgotha, which is the place of the skull, is where the Messiah was crucified. And remember I broke that down about the King Kong Godzilla, how King Kong represents the Messiah. That's why he's from the Skull Land, and he's called the Kong, the Great King. You know, it's deep stuff, y'all. That's why he got to fight the dragon. Nothing but Leviathan, aka the Beast. But I'm gonna keep it going because if you remember the movie Scarface, everybody remember Scarface, Tony Montana. You remember Scarface, he had the scar on his face. And when you understand that, notice how he built his kingdom brick by brick, aka cocaine. Like I'm just talking about in the sense of this duality, because I already broke down what that represented for the Babel Tower. But I'm talking about in this sense, like just utilizing the Scarface, it represent him building his kingdom brick by brick. That's why he said the world is yours. And then you remember the group Scarface with the Ghetto Boys back in the 90s with Scarface, Bushwick Bill, and Willie D. Hint the whole aspect of the Scarface, aka Messiah. Then you got Bushwick Bill. Remember, Bill is short for William, how I've been explaining this time and time again. How will I am, the will of I am, like the power of the Most High of I am in Exodus 3:14, when he told Moses, tell I am sent you. And then Willie D, William, obviously. Pay attention to that, y'all. It's all in our face. That's why they was called the Ghetto Boys. But I want to keep this thing rolling. I want to keep this thing rolling. Because when you understand it too, it's so deep. Because remember how the hyenas were the ones who was guarding the Pride Lands. I mean, not Pride Lands, I'm sorry, the Elephant Graveyard. Because they represent nothing but those who endure until the end. That's why they were the ones who stayed there. They were the hyenas. Pay attention to this.
Who step out of their kingdom?
Pugh, you can't do anything to me.
Technically they can. We are on their land.
But Zazu, you told me they're nothing but slobbering, mangy, stupid poachers.
Here are they called the vultures, and how the Elephant Graveyard, which is so deep because that represent those, the saints who remembered what happened and remember and cling on to faith that that their kingdom will be destroyed. That's all that represents. That's why they had the heat, the hyenas. Remember when Simba knocked him back down, knocked Scar back down?
No.
Remember they the ones who killed Scar? Because that represent those who get led away in that day, as it's written, they shall depart from the faith and turn against the Messiah. You feel where I'm going with this? This stuff is deep, y'all. It goes that deep, you know? And I really want to touch on this because all this represents is them trying to keep their one world order and push their agenda of becoming the perfect people. Because remember how his name is Scar, how I was saying how his name is Scar. If you pay attention to the Illuminati pyramid, notice you have a cap piece missing because that represents them exalting going above the Most High. And with the name Scar, when you pay attention how his eye is scarred, that represents them saying that they are now the all-seeing, all-knowing. They exalted above the Most High. It's all in our face. It's like no way around this, y'all. You get what I mean? There's no way around this. And all that represent them anyway. How you notice how the Pride Lands was north of the Pride Lands was the elephant graveyard. And like I've been talking about that because remember the Union was of the north and they defeated the South. And you already know how the South, you know how you got the New Orleans Saints, you have everything representing the saint. That's why you remember the South is the ones who the church runs the state in the South. And going back to this right quick before I end this clip, remember how I was talking about how Mufasa had told Simba that the sun should set with my time when he basically died, but he said that Simba, the sun will rise and you will become king. Pay attention to the whole aspect of the Obamacare logo. It's deep stuff, y'all. It's deep stuff. And I'm actually going to end that right here. I just really want to touch on all of this because this was a very serious movie, especially growing up in our childhood. But I'm going to end that right here. Thank you for watching Hide and Seek TV. Much more is coming. Peace.